You are listening to the Profitable Content Creator Podcast. This is the place where content creators come to learn how to create profitable content that positions themselves as an authority and grows their online businesses. Get ready to take your content to a whole new level with your host, Kristen Poborski.
Hey there, welcome to today's episode of the Profitable Content Creators Podcast. I'm Kristen Poborski, and today I am going to talk to you about how to create client attracting content. So if you're wanting to create enticing content that gets you in front of your ideal client, but are having a tough time finding ideas or time to create the content, you're going to want to listen to today's episode where I share with you exactly the kind of content you need to create that will help you stand out, along with 3 simple steps that you can use to create content that is both engaging and hooks them in. So let me give you a quick overview of what I'm going to cover in today's episode. I'm going to talk to you guys about what is the best and attention-getting format for your content, how to easily come up with unlimited topic ideas, and the fastest way to create repurposable content, and the sweet spot for video content length. But before I dive into today's episode, I just want to give you a quick intro for those of you who are wondering who the heck is Kristen. And I am Kristen Poborski, and I help healers, business, and life coaches dial in and implement their content strategy, including course creation, so that they can attract more customers into their practice and build the business that they love that doesn't run them. Okay. So here's how I discovered the power of content creation, which really has helped me build an incredible business that I love. So back in 2014, I was actively looking for solutions to the lack of eyeballs on my content and for my clients as well, because I knew that we needed to get those eyeballs so that we could get their message out into the world and attract more people that wanted to work with them. So I stumbled on a tool called BuzzSumo that helps content creators discover top performing content. And I had an aha moment when I found that tool. I thought to myself, what if I could find hot topics and create my own content using those same topics? And that's how my program, The Right Content at the Right Time, was born. So I started doing that not only for myself, but for one of my clients, Todd Krieger, who is a marriage and family therapist and relationship coach located in California. So what we did was we went out, did the research, built this amazing content plan from him. And it was aligned with what he does in his business. And we use these hot topics. So here's what happened. 30 days after we created that initial piece of content, and we did it every single week for, I think at least 6 months to start with. And we still do it today. And that was back in 2014. We're still doing this, still using the same strategy. But anyways, we started seeing results immediately after the first 30 days. We saw his traffic go up from 400 views to 1,000 views. And then by month 2, it got even more traction and his traffic doubled to 2,000 views. And then by month 4, it was up over to 4,000 views a month. And if you go look at his YouTube channel, he now has 10,000 subscribers and he's getting hundreds of views on his content every single day. And some of that content that we created back in 2015 is still getting views today and people calling, wanting to work with him. So that is the power of having a content plan that works and the power of evergreen content. And what was really cool from all of this was the ripple effect it had on his list, his business, and actually his personal life too. We started seeing his open rates go up on his email list. What once was a dead list was revived, and his phone started ringing. And then we fast forward today, he's raised his rates at least 3 times. He's been able to add, I don't know, tens of thousands of dollars to his bottom line every single year. And right now he has a waiting list of people who are willing to wait 4 to 6 weeks, sometimes 2 months, to work with him. Even during the lockdown in 2020 and 2021, his business did not dip. And he is still creating content every single week. And it gets people picking up the phone and wanting to work with him. So that, in the nutshell, is really the power of content creation. Okay, so let's dive right into today's topic, okay? So I'm going to cover 3 things. What is the best format? Then how to come up with those unlimited topics, the fastest way to create repurposable content. And actually, I'm covering 4. And what is the sweet spot for video content? So you already have a hint that the fastest way to create repurposable content is with video. Okay. So, and actually number 1. So let's dive into what is the best and most attention getting format for your content. And today, it really is video content. Okay. And this really started happening probably, well, we've been creating video content for since 2015, but we've really seen the power of it just become more and more important in the last, I'd say, since 2018. And again, the reason why it is that people now more than ever are craving connection. So the written word doesn't mean as much as before. Now, you still need written content when it goes on your blog to surround your video. But if you really want to create content that is hooks people in and draws them to you, it would be video content. Okay, hands down. That's the way to go these days. And the coolest thing is, and I'm going to keep going down there and talk about this in a minute, it is the easiest type of content to repurpose. Okay. And I'll go into that in a few minutes. But right now, I want to kind of just talk to you about how to come up with unlimited topic ideas. Now, you might have remembered in my intro, I said that I use BuzzSumo. Well, it's a very expensive tool, and most people can't pay or don't want to pay the big fee on that. And I still use it sometimes, but I've noticed in the past few years, it's not as good of a tool of finding evergreen trending topics. It's kind of gotten messed up with more sensationalism. I know people really like kind of like gossipy, sensational content, but that's not what we should be creating. We should be creating, content that is useful. So where do I go to find useful content topic ideas? I go to YouTube. And I use the YouTube search, and I find all kinds of great content there. It's exactly the same thing that we teach in our 60-minute content planning workshop that we teach for free. We teach how to align your content with what you do, and then how to go and use YouTube effectively to create a content plan. And then we talk about exactly how to take that content and make it your own. Okay. It's really powerful when you can actually have a system that you can use again and again and again. And that is what I do every single quarter. I have used the same system over and over again for myself and for my clients and my students in my program who are lucky enough to get a one-on-one content planning session with me when they register for my Smart Simple Content Marketing program. All right. So again, write that down. YouTube, the fastest and easiest way to find hot topics, okay? And there's all kinds of ways that you can filter it so you can really see what is trending right now. Okay, so let's talk about the fastest and easiest way to create repurposable content. Again, I love this because it's so easy when you create video content. Okay, video content is so easy to repurpose into multiple pieces of content. It doesn't take very long. So basically, what we teach in the 12X content maximizer, we have a script that we tell our students to use. It is a very short script. We have a specific way of teaching how to do the intro, and then we tell them to use an outline. I never tell my students to write an entire script out because you should know what you're talking about. And your content is so much better when you're not reading a script. So I just tell them to write a quick intro, have your outline, and then your call to action, and a few maybe like things that you want to cover, like, you might say, tell the story about da 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 in your script, and you just know it. So you have that in front of you to keep you on track, but you don't use a teleprompter and you don't use a full written script. And it only usually takes about 15 to 20 minutes to write that script, right? And then you can go live and video your content, and you're done in less than 30 minutes. So that is the fastest way, and that is the system that we use in our 12X Content Maximizer program. All right. So you're probably now wondering, okay, what is the sweet spot for video content length? Well, I've been experimenting with a bunch of things, and right around 10 to 12 minutes is great. But one thing that I've been doing is I've been videoing a little bit longer content, because what I do now is I will cover my main points and then I will answer 2 questions at the very end. And those are usually probably about 2 minutes each. But what's cool is when I do it that way, I have 3 pieces of content, because I have the whole entire video, and then I will cut out the 2 questions and create separate pieces of content. Sorry, my dogs are barking in the background. And I use those shorter pieces, and I do publish them out on YouTube. And I found that people do like to. So what I found with the shorter pieces of content, and they're only 2 minutes, people love those because they want to just get the answers to commonly asked questions. So that's why I do it. It gives value to my entire video or podcast when I have those questions on there. But then those shorter pieces, sometimes people are looking for those answers. So that's why I do it. So I've really actually found longer content, 10 to 12 minutes, but then those 2-minute quick ones, people really, really like that. So the sweet spot is really around between 2 and about 12 minutes, but I do go longer. And I've found that people are very engaged with my content as well when I switch into adding those questions at the end. And it just makes me more efficient at how I create content. Okay. So now you know pretty much what goes into creating client attracting content. You've got to create video content. Then go to YouTube and look for content ideas. Repurpose your content. So creating a video is a great way to be able to repurpose it and go out and share it everywhere. And you want to do that because people, want to see you and they want to hear you. It's much more powerful than the written word. And your sweet spot is around 10 to 12 minutes or 2 to 3 minutes on the lower end. Okay. So what I want to encourage you today is to make a decision, to take action on the things that I've shared. And I would suggest, if you're nodding your head and saying, yeah, I want to get started doing this, I would say you should start by creating a script and filming a video. You can do this in just 30 minutes or less, because I know if you follow the process that I talk about here, I know this works because I do this every single month and I batch my content out and I use that same process. So if your answer is yes, I'm ready. I've also got a free content roadmap that will help you figure out what steps you need to take to get into the content creation game. And I've added that link right down below for you in the show notes. So I hope you enjoyed today's episode on how to create client attracting content. And stay tuned for next week's episode of the Profitable Content Creator Podcast. See you later.
You've been listening to the Profitable Content Creator Podcast, where content creators go to learn how to take their content creation to the next level. If you love the Profitable Content Creator Podcast, we'd love for you to subscribe, rate, and give us a review on iTunes. Until next time.